What's up, gamers? RJ from Game News USA here, and today I want to go over a few news stories, wrap up this week of news. I kind of didn't want to make a video about each one of these topics. I kind of quickly wanted to just touch on a few things, because after all, we are a gaming news channel first, aren't we? Please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get right into it. So, first and foremost, there are rumors going around, and I know rumors aren't news, and I know that rumors can get people in trouble sometimes, especially when you're wrong. However, there's been some pretty credible sources that Xbox Game Pass is getting ready to drip feed out some Activision Blizzard games. Finally, after all this time of waiting, we should be getting some more Activision Blizzard games coming to the service. Now, some of you, myself included, might be wondering, why didn't they just announce this at the June showcase? I don't know, I'm still wondering that. That's why I couldn't give the game, or the showcase, a perfect score. Because I was wondering and waiting, holding the bag for those Activision Blizzard games. However, it appears as though we're finally going to get something. So, apparently starting in August, maybe even sooner, Game Pass games will start drip feeding from Activision Blizzard. Starting with the Crash Insane trilogy. And there's rumors of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. And of course, eventually will lead to Call of Duty, the other Diablos, the rest of the games. Now, this is quite different than how Bethesda did their rollout into Game Pass. With Bethesda, Microsoft was just like, hey, yo, we bought Bethesda. Hey, here's all the games. Have fun. Xbox is being a lot more strategic with this acquisition. They want to give you reasons to keep re-upping your subscription, not just dump everything and walk away. On one hand, I'm irritated that it's only a drip feed, because I'm ready to get a hold of certain games now and not have to wait. On the other hand, I completely understand. You see the Nintendo Switch Online service currently drip feeds out games that came out 10, 20, even 30 years ago. And that's probably the best way to highlight those games. So this is a good way to kind of combat any gaps in the Game Pass window when it comes to any kind of droughts happening. So overall, a W for Xbox, a W for Game Pass, a W for gamers, if it's true. If it's not, you better believe I'll be back here to talk about it. Now, in the next news story, Capcom had a little event called Capcom Next. They kind of talked about Resident Evil and 9 and Dead Rising and other games. And honestly, I couldn't think of 10 minutes to talk about a Capcom announcement video. Because to be completely frank with you, Capcom's done a lot of mistakes. And not only have they done a lot of mistakes, some of you may not feel that way. Me personally, I am not a fan of how they handle microtransactions. And honestly, some of their best franchises are not my cup of tea. I don't really care all that much about Dead Rising. I don't really care all that much about Resident Evil. If that's the kind of stuff you're looking forward to, that's great. That's awesome. We all have different tastes. But I'm the kind of person that's like, give me a Mega Man. So, when it comes to the Capcom Next presentation, it was pretty forgettable. And at best, it was probably about as good as PlayStation's showcase, which wasn't very good. Xbox and Nintendo completely owned this summer when it came to their showcases. Nintendo, because the bar was so low, it being the 8th year of the Switch, but yet they're coming with so many good things despite that for the latter half of the year. For Xbox, the bar was really high. They needed to perform. And they did. They delivered with the games that they brought out. And that brings me to another rumor, which is PlayStation might be at Tokyo Game Show with hopefully a better presentation. But we're finally getting to the main event of the video, why we're really here, which is Switch 2 rumors, Nintendo talking about AI. What did they say? Nintendo intends to not use AI in their video games. They have no interest in doing so. And that is definitely a win for gamers. Nintendo showing once again why they are the king of games. And when it comes to the Switch 2, we're all very excited to see when is this thing coming out. The Switch has sold really well despite no price drop. It might eventually soon overtake the PS2 and the DS. Has the highest selling video game system of all time, which is very impressive, especially considering when you look at the PS2 how many price drops it had throughout its generation and beyond. But the single most important thing we've heard all week is that Nintendo is going to combat Switch 2 scalpers. This is a move that needs to be praised. They might have 10 million units ready for launch. They might have so many units ready to go just to make sure that customers and not scalpers get their hands on the brand new console that they haven't announced yet, but we all know it's coming. PS5 and Xbox Series X launches were an absolute disaster. They were completely ruined by scalpers for years. Nintendo says the semiconductor shortage is over and that mass production is happening, and they will make sure scalpers are not going to take away your opportunity to own their next-gen system once they do acknowledge it exists. So that is great news. We will definitely cover that, cover the Switch 2's launch, and we will make sure to hold them to task that they actually followed through with what they said and that people were able to get a Switch 2 at launch, myself included, because either way, either I'm going to talk about the Switch 2 at launch and how I got one, or I'm going to tell you my horror stories about how I wasn't able to, and I'm going to talk about it. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching this news video. I appreciate all the support. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and have a good one. Peace. I'm out.